It's a beautiful morning here. The sun is out. There are some ominous skies on the hill that I'm hoping will bring beautiful rain to rinse all the salt off the boat. And hopefully it's a smooth check-in and we can get to boat work and exploring. That's what we're here to do.
However, it was not as smooth as we expected. Before spending 18 days at sea, sailing to Horta from St. Martin, we had read on the Portuguese government website that our time at sea would mean no quarantine upon arrival. But we soon learned the Azores had inducted its own rules separate of that from the Portuguese government, requiring a PCR test upon arrival and quarantine until the results came back. So even though we were so very eager to go to shore, we could only look at it from afar. The green shore so very near, yet so far away.
Hey everyone, we're Sailing Sweet Ruca. I'm Kate, this is Curtis, and Roxy the dog. And we're here to sail around the world via Cape Horn and the Cape of Good Hope. We like to take the sea less traveled and are ready for some serious offshore sailing. So come along for the ride and click subscribe.
Good morning. We are here in Horta, which hopefully you can see behind me. There's actually land today. We are waiting to go in and take a COVID-19 test, apparently. We're not quite sure what we have to do. We thought we wouldn't have to do this as we spent more than 14 days at sea. At least that's what it said on Noonsite. Even the radio channel that you're supposed to contact the marina on is incorrect. It's also incorrect on the charts. We finally got in contact with them and we're having some morning coffee and we are waiting around to get nose jabbed.
After emailing and scheduling a testing time, the PCR Test / port police rib approached our boat the day after we arrived. They grabbed us and a few other arrivals and escorted us into a special COVID-19 testing location specifically for yachts in transit. There, we took what would be our first PCR test since leaving the comfort of Grenada. Curtis did a great job with his first nose jab. Then it was time to get back into the taxi and drop off other sailors, including a cool super yacht, and await our results. It turned into 2 nights and 3 extra days on the boat than we expected, but we made the most of it.
Well, we found out we can order from Peter's Cafe, the famous Peter's Cafe here in the Azores, and get it delivered before you even check in. So while we're waiting for our COVID results and waiting for official check-in, we ordered amazing warm hot meal that I didn't have to cook. I'm super excited. While we were waiting, I set my Yeti cup that I keep all of my cold and hot beverages in on the stern, and Roxy promptly kicked it overboard. As it was going, I held the Peter's Cafe dinghy over. They tried to rescue it, but it was too deep. And so when we ordered food from them, they brought me a mug. And so they went to the supermarket, got us the SIM card, they got us food, beer, and they brought me a mug because they saw that I dropped my mug in the water and it sank to the depths of the sea. So, and I can't wait to enjoy this amazing Portuguese food we're about to eat. So, cheers!
Yay! Let's do it. Beer?
And
This guy? Wait, some. Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
That's good. Oh, yeah.
Salad. Yum. Oh, yum.
All right, bye, guys. We're eating. This is good.
The next day, we were still waiting for results, and to make use of waiting around, they allowed us to pull the boat up to the wall to refuel, and then return out at anchor. Later that evening, we made the best of it by grilling some freezer chorizo sausages on the boat. Here we have Curtis using our new grill for the very first time. We bought it in St. Martin, and we are now using it all the way across the Atlantic in the Azores. That is a volcanic island there behind Curtis.
They're looking good.
Cool.
We'll close them up.
First meal cooked on the grill. What you can't really see are these amazing sausages. The next morning started with rain, but luckily for us, the skies cleared and our results finally came in. What would you do with your first real steps on shore? With the pointy, volcanic island of Pico behind us, we headed into shore to see what we could find. Roxy realizing that all her dreams were finally coming true.
I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay.
The first sights we were greeted with were many small fishing boats, green grass, and paintings from vessels arrived some days and many years prior, as is customary to do when you make a crossing to these islands so very far away from mainland shore.
Watch out! Alright.
The first order of business would be scouting out the grocery store to replenish fresh food, and along the way, Curtis fell in love with the ability to ride dirt bikes right on the street. During those first precious steps on shore, we discovered beautiful architecture, scuba diving, and a mountain bike shop offering volcano tours. These are a few of our favorite things. For our first meal on solid ground that I enjoyed not cooking, we settled for an affordable little cafe with a view of the harbor. Curtis couldn't help sneaking the first fry while Roxy looked on. Lastly, we decided to tour the docks and paintings of those oh-so-many boats that braved the conditions from east and west to take reprieve and refuel in this amazingly natural place. Roxy enjoyed her first steps off the leash and smelling all the people and dogs that came before her.
She's so happy. Roxy.
See?
All right, everybody, we are finally all checked in. Woo! So it is time to hang up our courtesy flags. So first, we're gonna put up the Portuguese flag, which is the really official one that we gotta make sure we have of the governing nation. So Portugal flag, and then we have the flag of the Azores. Not required, but does seem like the polite thing to do. And of course, we are loving the Azores, so we wanted to get our Azores flag here in Horta. So here we go.
Hello! Hey, Roxy, be quiet. Very cool.
Look what I found. Jackpot. We are reorganizing our food for the umpteenth time, but it's okay because we have lots of food. And yeah, so trying to find a way to sort of better organize the sails and the food, and we know that we're going to have to move things when we take off on passage again, but that's okay. We are still working towards kind of fine-tuning things so we don't have to do too much.
Are we cleaning up to get into work mode to make some videos?
We are. We're reorganizing things so that we can turn this into an office space instead of an offshore passage space. So that's what we're doing today.
Cool.
Right now, this is our giant bag of first aid stuff, and it is somewhat organized on the inside, but we're still working on fine-tuning that also. But anyways, it's our quick bright yellow first aid bag. First aid bag. It is so giant because we have to be our own doctors and nurses while on board, so we want to make sure we have everything. We can't just run to the pharmacy or the hospital when we are sailing. We got this bad boy in St. Martin. We were without the video editing laptop for a month and a half, and we are ready to get rolling again. So Here you can see this is what they had, the best they had in St. Martin, but it is time to start the video editing process.
Hey guys, this is what we do when we aren't out sailing and we are making videos and putting out content for you. Welcome to our office.
Hello.
As you can see, Kate's pretty, she's got her headphones in and she's just hammering away on editing, and I'm working on some other stuff here for y'all. So we will get back to it, but we wanted to show you what our workspace looks like when we are at anchor. Cheers.
Roxy saw the boat swimming next door, and so now she wants to go swimming. So that's just what we're gonna do. Spoiled dog. Oh my god, he didn't even land yet.
That's so cute. You can see her little white paws under the water.
Oh my god. Roxy, I feel like you can compete as a dog.
Alrighty. Jellyfish.
Where?
Right there.
Oh,
look at it.
So Roxy's taking a nap in the sun, and she felt that the hatch was a good place to rest her head, so her face is all smushed on the glass. It's really funny. Oh my gosh. I can see your teeth, Roxy. Well, if you ever wanted to know what your dog's mouth looked like when it was smushed up against the ground, now you know. Oh my gosh.
We are here in Horta Harbor, and we're about to go way up there. We're headed for a little mountain bike excursion where they're going to take us to the very top of the volcano, and we're going to ride our way all the way back down to the sea.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well, let's go do some mountain biking. Come on.
It has been 2 years since we've done one of our favorite activities. Not a whole lot of mountains in the Caribbean, and so we are ready to finally go up to Jurassic Park here and see the beautiful lush green downhill slopes.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, had to reach for the city lines. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, mama, what I become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go burn all bridges.
Right out of the mountain, right?
Yeah. Lost along the way.
Oh yeah.
Pulling stitches. Time to let go. So come what may.
Whew. Wow.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. Let's have a toast for those lost old eyes. And my crooked little heart.
Yeah.
It seems so rebellious. It's falling apart right now. I'm bleeding, an easy kill. Gonna leave it all behind.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. That's fast and short.
Time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way.
Sweating.
Fell between the fold, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
Yeah.
We finished the ride with a tour around the park, where our guide showed us some deer and barbecue for family gatherings. Back on the boat, we noticed the anchorage was getting crowded and turned on the radar. You see these two red splotches? Those are two boats. So, what does that tell you? I think they've bumped, according to the radar. If we go outside and take a look, I don't know if you can see, there's a boat there, and if you look just on its stern, that's not a catch.
Well, no, it's a catch.
Oh, it is a catch.
It's a catch with a third
That's
mast.
a catch with a third mast, which is actually another boat right there. And they just bumped into their dinghy. So there's some movement on the stern of the Prout.
Pushing them off here.
No movement on the German monohull.
They're not there, I don't think.
Yeah, they're probably off board, I'm guessing. I don't see the dinghy unless it's on the other side. It's super lucky that it's calm right now, as it was supposed to be rainy all day and it's kind of just been sprinkling.
I think we're going to be the next ones in this situation with this boat that anchored too close to us over here. He's less than 20 feet off of our bow at times, and as these boats have all swung different ways, we're likely starting to do the same thing here. So it's going to be fun.
You might need to. Their chain is in their prop.
They can't get their anchor up, and after noticing this was quite the tangle, Curtis jumped in the dinghy to see if there was any way he could offer help. Curtis did his best to assist, but the drivers of the boat were really occupied and distracted, for obvious reasons. There wasn't much he could do without cooperation. I think their chain is just wrapped around their... Oh man. Oh, that's the one boat's anchor is going up the chain of the other boat. That's their chain, that's their anchor right there on the other boat's chain. Well, hopefully that will solve the issue. Eventually, they drug back along the side of the other empty monohull. Bumpers were out and damage to the anchored boat was minimal. It turned out to be a crowded anchorage in one of the only two open ports in the Azores. Curtis and I would later dinghy over to the empty monohull, show them the video, and enjoy a few brews at Peter's Cafe. The irony in all this, it was the same boat that we had passed and chatted with in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Some things are meant to be. If you're enjoying what you see from Sweet Ruca, you can check out more by becoming a patron. And now for a sneak peek at next week. Next week on Sweet Ruca, We discover something gigantic underwater. We join the many accomplished sailors before us, and we meet our first solo world circumnavigator just by chance, and he grants us an interview.